Hi, my name is Zeb Wellborn from Wellborn Media. Today I want to talk to you about content marketing and how you can really come up with some really cool, unique ways that you can create content regardless of what business or industry you're in. And then you can use that content to create more content down the line. So really you're actually only thinking of one idea when it comes to creating content, and then you'll be able to pull, in some cases, 6, 7, 8 things from that one piece of content you've created, and you're able to have that content that then you can then distribute at a later date, and the work is already done for you. It's a really effective way to do it, and it saves a lot of time for people who are trying to create content online, valuable content that people are finding, and it's one of the tactics we use here at Wellborn Media when we're creating content for our clients. If you are interested in finding out more about how we create content, feel free to contact me, Zeb, at wellbornmedia.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to encourage all of you out there to go out there, share your passion, and grow your business. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about content creation and how you can easily create unique content that you can use on your website, your blog, if you're using article directory submissions, if you're guest posting on other people's blogs. This is a great way to come up with content where you can really create one piece of content and you can then use from that one piece of content is you can extract multiple pieces of macro content that you can then use to contribute in those other avenues that you want to try and get your content out on. So basically what I kind of recommend is, let's say for example we're talking about a real estate business. One of the things we like to do is come up with the top 5 ways, or maybe come up with the top 10 questions people have, or something along those lines. It's like a top 5 article where you have a genuine question about the interest. So for example, let's say I'm writing on a real estate business. A question that I might want to ask is, what should you look for when buying a home? So then we make an article called the top 5 things you should look for when buying a home. So let's kind of type that in here. Top 5 things you should look for when buying a home. Then what I'll do is I'll kind of copy that pile. That's real quick. You just come up with a question that you think you might have, and then what we'll do is we'll throw that into Google and see what comes up. So here you have a list of different articles that come up in the search results. 10 things every home buyer needs to know, buying a house 101. So here you have a lot of different websites that you can go through, and then what I can do is really quickly just kind of browse these websites and get a feel for what people need to know about when they buy a home. So I'm going to do this really briefly. Normally I'd spend a little bit more time reading and understanding the material. But let's see. So location, I've heard that before. Location. There's talk about loans, buyer's broker, demand full disclosure, get it in writing. Don't forget about taxes, as that could be a good one. And basically you do research. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll actually click on each one of these links. And one of the things that I also do is my Pinterest. So what I'll do is I'll set up this article called the top 5, or I'll set up a board in Pinterest called the top 5 things you should look for when buying a home. And then what I'll do is I'll click on all of these, I'll add them to that board. And so then what I can do is I can go back and I can review and I can read and I can study up, and I'll come up with the 5 things that each one of these websites will say. So if I click on each one, basically there'll be a common theme. There'll be a common 5 that people are talking about, or 6 or 7 or however many you want to do. And there's a common theme that I can extract, and I can pull the amount that I want. And then what I can do is come back to my article, which I plan on writing. And this is an outline. This isn't how I would be writing it, but an outline of the article. And then let's say one of the things is location. We can talk about maybe know the tax code or in the area, or whatever it is. And then let's actually take a look at another example here. Buying a house 101. Don't buy if you can't stay put. Start by aiming for a home you can really afford. So let's just use that, affordability. So make sure your home is affordability, and then like you said, you could go through and you create the top 5 things, and then what you have is you have this one piece of content where you can really flesh it out. Basically just off the top of my head is I could write several paragraphs about why location is important when buying a home, why understanding taxes is important. Maybe I'd have to do a little bit more research on that. And the affordability, make sure it's in your price range, and so you can kind of come up with a paragraph or two about that as well. But the goal is to be adding value. So you do want to do your research. You do want to understand what it is you're talking about, but you don't need to go into elaborate, in-depth detail or anything like that. And it's a real quick way to come up with that one piece of content. Now, what I can do from here is I can create a whole new article. And I can create a whole new article on why location is important when buying a home. And you can change the title around for keyword purposes or whatever it is. But now you have this location. You can come up with another article, another full article on taxes and how they apply to home buying, buying a home, etc., etc., etc. So it's a real great way to come up with unique content. It's very easy. You just have to, research is important. You do want to write knowledgeably on the topic that you're writing on, and then you also want to be sure to include links to all your content that you're writing to your website in order to help increase the search engine rankings as well. If you have more questions about content and how you can create content, this is just one of the strategies we employ here. There's tons of different things that we do at Wellborn Media, and this is just one of the things that we use. If you do have more questions, feel free to contact me, zeb@wellbornmedia.com. I want you all to go out there, share your passion, and grow your business. Have a great day.